How's it going, guys? Welcome back. My name is Damien, bringing you my review for Arrow episode 22 of season 3, and it was a pretty solid episode all around. There was a couple things that really stood out. There's a couple things I didn't really like as well, but those are minor complaints. So the episode was pretty solid, so let's get right into it. If you haven't seen it yet, careful for spoilers. You can come back after, but I imagine at this point you've already seen the episode. So, of course, there was no way Oliver Queen was actually going to become Al-Sahim, heir to the demon. That was just very obvious at this point. The only thing that was in question was when exactly was he going to reveal his true purpose officially. Now, next week, if you guys have seen the promo, you know that the Flash will be on the episode. He's officially there, and I imagine he's going to be doing something involving saving Team Arrow. Maybe he's gonna get them out of there, incapacitate all the League of Assassins members. Who knows what's going to happen, but either way, he's there. So, because realistically, the position that Oliver's in right now, he can't exactly do a lot of things. It's going to be hard to maneuver around whilst still trying to keep Ra's al Ghul under the impression that he is loyal to him. So, next week's episode should actually be really, really good, and I look forward to that episode way more than I did last night's episode. But at the same time, this episode was good because Katana, I really, really enjoy her character. I think she's a pretty, I guess, I don't know if I'd call her, I guess you could say she's a mid-level DC character, but she's really, really cool, and her character overall needs some more screen time, just some more character development, because really how you see her is a lot through flashbacks. She's not really there, and that's, I guess, one of the things that Arrow has kind of established itself with these flashbacks, whereas the Flash is not really doing that, and the two shows become really, like, you really get to see the difference that screen time makes, where Arrow doesn't have it because they're doing the flashbacks. They basically set aside a certain amount of time every week to do flashbacks, whereas the Flash doesn't have to do that and may only occasionally decide to use a flashback for specific story purposes. So, with that being said, I'd like to see Katana, I'd like to see her have some more screen time, because Tatsu, there's a lot more to her character. She was in full costume. I thought the costume was great, and her soul blade, of course, I'm not sure if Arrow's going to get into all of that, the powers of the soul blade, being able to absorb the soul of anyone she kills and communicate with them and all of that, but that's just all comic book stuff that I was, that I read up on when I first saw her character coming on this show. But I really like the costume. I don't think her chemistry with Maseo was that good, but I guess they just really didn't have a lot of screen time in the present. Most of their time together was really done in flashbacks, and they were separated a lot, and I don't know, I guess I just really wasn't feeling the Maseo character. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think overall they just didn't mesh well together. I think both characters are interesting as far as their origins and all of that, but the two of them together, something just didn't really seem to click. I guess the only time they were really that, as far as being emotionally linked, was in last night's flashback with their son. That's about the only thing I can really say about the two of them being together chemistry-wise, kind of clicking, and even then that could be easily challenged as well, but it's just my opinion, it's just what I think about it. But the episode had some really, really, I guess, minor things that I thought were great. Overall, the story arc so far with Ra's al Ghul, the one silver lining to it, in my opinion, has been just seeing the themes and customs of the League of Assassins. Last night's wedding between Oliver and Nisa al Ghul was one of those things, again, where you get to see a lot of their rituals, customs, and really just delve more into the way they all function, the order of things, and that is something that they could have spent some more time on. It would have been great to see, but I understand that's really just for curiosity purposes. It's really not that big a deal, but sometimes when they do it, it's received really well, and you're like, hey, that's pretty cool. Just seeing the way they handle a specific custom, like a wedding or betrayal or any of those things, their order, the way they function, is pretty cool. So I enjoy that stuff. And I really don't mind the actor that they cast as Ra's al Ghul. I need to actually look up his IMDb and see like what else he's done, because I've never seen him before, and I've never even thought about looking him up until now. But thinking about this season, his portrayal of Ra's al Ghul has been pretty good. After episode 9, I think he's basically solidified that, yeah, he's good as Ra's al Ghul, no doubt. So I enjoyed that aspect of the episode as well. The fight scene that they had, Team Arrow versus the League of Assassins was pretty good. That was one of my complaints about the episode, though, because it just, as far as the camera work, that's all just technical stuff I'm nitpicking about, but at the end of the day, you kind of want scenes to flow in a certain way, and just the way they handled certain transitions for specific scenes, I just didn't really enjoy them. But that scene was pretty good as well. They also don't really have a lot of time on these episodes to really have big fight scenes like that, and this was probably one of the bigger fight scenes that they've done, and definitely the biggest that they've done this season, because this season they haven't really had anything like they did last season with Deathstroke. It's been a little bit more contained, smaller, nothing on the grander scope, so it was cool to see that. But again, some things they could have easily changed there to make it a little bit better. But really, you could see what they're doing is trying to showcase Ray Palmer, Adam, because he's leaving the show at the end of season 3, and he's going to have his own spin-off. So they really want to try to get people, I guess, interested in his character. He's really just, they're doing his character really different on the show. So a lot of people are going to see it and just be reminded of Iron Man, I think. And they're not really going to be too interested. So, I don't know, maybe they have some plans. They're going to show some more about his character, but we'll see how it goes. I'm also really curious to see what happens with Malcolm Merlyn, because I'm not really too sure he's going to be a full-time character next season as well. Although he wasn't really a full-time character this season, he's been kind of on for about at least half of the episodes, but he's never been fully involved or invested in a lot of the episodes. So we'll see just what happens. I think one of the things that probably a lot of people are not talking about a lot is Roy Harper and Thea. I think that their characters, I don't know, I guess I've always wanted to see a relationship between the two of them on this show, or at least I hoped something like that would happen, but I guess they're going, it's just not really possible right now. She's going to become Speedy, and her transition into that, red is more her color, the reference he made at the end, that's because her costume, of course, you know how it goes with these shows, you make a little reference like that. So her character is going to slowly transition into being Speedy, and we'll see her full costume at some point. But yeah, a lot of the Easter eggs were really good too. The Malcolm Merlyn made a reference about Ferris Air, which is in Coast City, Green Lantern, of course. So I think it would be great if they actually did something with Green Lantern. That would be really, really amazing, because the kind of visuals the visual effects they would need to really sell that. Him and the Flash doing some crossover stuff. I think for me, it's more appealing to see characters with superpowers or the ability to do something extraordinary. Green Arrow is very limited, so whenever you see him and the Flash side by side, it's really just, you find yourself just saying, well, I don't really care what Oliver does, let's see what Barry is going to do, right? And I've seen a lot of people that have said the exact same thing, so let me know what you guys think. It was a pretty solid episode all around. The wedding was great, Thea and Roy, great scenes, more backstory or more customs for the League of Assassins, really great also. I'm not really too sure on showcasing Ray Palmer, but it's their call. We'll see how it goes on his spinoff. I will watch it, I will do reviews, post scenes and all of that, and we'll see how the show goes. So that's really it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next Arrow video or tonight for the Vampire Diaries. My name is Damien. Thanks for watching.